With the electric future inevitable and internal combustion engine downsizing in progress, where does that leave the current car enthusiast in 2024? Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this review, I have the 2024 Mercedes GLC43 AMG. Gone is that lovely V6 bi-turbo, which paired with the AMG Performance exhaust sounded amazing. In favor of a 2-liter turbo with Formula One technology. Now this one does have the red interior, so 5 extra horsepower for that right there. But in this review, I'm going to show you guys all the exterior features, take it on a AMG inspired drive, and give you guys my final verdict. But now, let's go ahead, drum roll, get into this review. Looking outside of the 2024 Mercedes GLC43 AMG, this is your key fob right here with lock, unlock, as well as a tailgate release and panic button right there with AMG spelled out. As good, this vehicle is $78,175, dressed in a black exterior on a AMG Power Red interior for $1,620. Now this version does also have the Pinnacle package for $4,300, which does include a head-up display, augmented navigation, the digital headlights, and surround view camera system, as well as the driver assist package for $1,950. But looking at the front end design of this AMG variant right here, you have your Mercedes star in the center of this grille. This does also house the sensor for the Drive Pilot adaptive cruise control, which you will try on the road, as well as a front view camera just below that. You have this very aggressive AMG grille right here with vertical slats. Looks so aggressive and mean from the front end fascia. Looking over at the lights, which are full LED as well as adaptable, you have a digital headlight right here with LED DRLs up top, which do double as your turn signals. Some more DRLs right here, as well as LED low and high beams. Also on the exterior of this version right here, you have all of the night out packages. I'll put all that information in the description below. 3/4 front shot for you guys right there. But looking over here at the wheels, this is a $1,600 upcharge. This is a 21-inch wide-spoke, multi-spoke AMG wheel, wrapped on a 265 width summer tire and a 295 width out back. You have power folding mirrors with LED turn signals, as well as a panoramic sunroof to give you an airy feeling inside of the cab. Overall dimensions are 187 inches long. From nose to tail, you have 5.7 inches of ground clearance. It really looks very low in person for sure. Coming around to the rear, you can see you do have a AMG rear diffuser right here, which looks so aggressive and mean, as well as a dual exhaust with quad exhaust finishes right here, and full LED taillights back here. So you have your LED ambers, as well as your LED reverse lights and LED brake lights right there. All the badging is blacked out. Opening the trunk, which is powered, you can also use the hands-free access to kick sensor under the rear bumper. You are graded to 21.9 cubic feet of space. When you do fold down the second row seats, which do fold in a 40-20-40 fashion right there, that will expand to 59.3 cubic feet. Your releases are on both sides of these seats. This right here is your box for your carpeted floor mats, which is a separate option. You have your front license plate bracket, some illumination down here, as well as some wheel locks. You have a 12-volt charger on this side. And let's see what you get down below. You do have a fixed flat kit and some more storage down below. To close the trunk or tailgate, you use this button right here to either lock the doors and close the tailgate, or just close the tailgate like so. Now, let me show you guys under the hood where all of the action happens, as this is a AMG. Now gone is that lovely 3-liter bi-turbo V6, which I have to say I will actually miss that dearly, but you do have a slight replacement with more power. There we go. Now, under the hood of this GLC43, you will find a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with a 48-volt EQ boost for 416 horsepower with 369 pound-foot of torque. You'll get 19 in the city, 25 on the highway, and 21 combined. It is a 9-speed multi-clutch transmission. Curb weight is 4,354 pounds, as this one is equipped. Now, the EQ Boost 40-volt mild hybrid system will add 23 horsepower and 148 pound-foot of torque in short boost increments. 0 to 60 is rated at 4.7 seconds in this application right here. You can also see the strut bar right here helping with structural rigidity, making this more meaner in the corners. Let me get a 3/4 front shot for you guys right here. Boom. Now, I have to say the engine may not be impressive, but the design definitely is. We are going to start out in the back seats. At 5'6", with the seat a little bit further back than I would typically sit, I have about 4 inches of legroom. As far as headroom goes, I have about 2.5, 3 inches of headroom, which is very good for sure. Now, speaking of backseat amenities, you do have your automatic window controls, as well as lock and unlock door functions. You can see the lovely ambient lighting around the door surrounds right here. You have 2 air vents with storage compartments on both sides right there, and a panoramic sunroof letting in a lot of light. And here's a quick look to the front cabin, boom, or the cockpit. But now let's hit the cockpit where all the action happens. And let me tell you guys, I'm certainly excited for that. Oh, look, ambient lighting. Hopping into the cockpit of the GLC43. Looking over at the door panels, you do have a 3-stage heated front seat with 3-person memory right there, as well as all your seat controls for the waterfall cushion, bottom support, back support, as well as your headrests, locking, unlocking the doors, as well as window controls and mirror controls over here. Mirrors are power folding. The lovely Burmester 3D sound system, 15 speakers. We'll try your audio test in a minute. You also have your trunk release down below, as well as a forward lumbar support right here on the base of the seat. You have your light controls, as well as an electronic parking brake and a power tilt telescoping steering column. Hopping inside of the GLC, I have to say the interior is definitely a nice place to be. You are greeted to a 12.3-inch cluster right here with this lovely heated 3-spoke steering wheel with a flat bottom design and AMG inscripted right there. Now, speaking more about how you can control this 12.3-inch display right here, you use these buttons over here on this side to configure the screen. So if I hit the home button, you can change the various different views between the Super Sport view. I can put it into a Sport view. We can go back to a Classic, Understated. Navigation, you have a assistance view, as well as a off-road view and a service mode right there. Speaking also of that, if I do scroll up, I can change and configure the head-up display, which I do have set to race right now. That is the race display with your speed as well as the tack, and you also have the speed limit area and drive assist. Scrolling over to a Super Sport view, will show up your RPMs. Let me give it a low gas. You see right there. You can put it to a standard view and a minimal view. But you can basically change the head-up display between all these various different settings right here. You can change how you have everything set up for the brightness, settings, and so on. So basically, when you get over to the screen setup right here, you gotta scroll up one more time to configure the head-up display settings. Very nice feature for sure. But look a little bit more at the steering wheel right here. You do have all your drive assist technology on this side of the steering wheel, as well as on this side to control and configure all of the infotainment stuff for the MBUX interface, voice commands, volume controls, and a preset favorite button right there. Now, speaking more about the drive units at the bottom of the steering wheel, you can change your traction control right here into a sport handling mode. You can also open and close the exhaust valves on this side, and you can change your various different drive modes, which I will show you guys inside of the screen, as well as over here. So you have your comfort mode, which is your standard. You can go into a slippery mode for inclement weather, as you can see right there. A individual mode, which is configurable, as well as a sport and a sport plus mode for more aggressive shift settings, as well as maximum amount of performance. Over here is your push button start with a auto start stop defeat. And let me talk about the very nice shifting paddle shifters right here, which do have a nice feel when you do upshift. But speaking more of the infotainment, this is a 11.9-inch MBUX infotainment system right here. Now, you do have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, so I do want to start out with a quick audio test with a 15-speaker Burmester 3D sound system. So let's try it out. Now, as you can see, the system has a lot of bass and sound quality. Definitely is impressive for sure. This is their 3D setup, and it's definitely better than the standard version. But going back to your home page right here, you have embedded navigation with augmented reality, which we'll try out once we hit the road. But let me show you guys a quick navigation test. You see how responsive the screen is? It's crazy. As you can see right there, navigation is very quick and easy to use to pull up a navigation prompt with no problem at all. Let me go ahead and put it back into its classic mode, because as you can see, the screen theme actually does change right there when you do change the various different cluster settings. But going back over here to your main display, you also have a couple more modes right here for your media functions, phone connections, as well as some more stuff right there. You have vehicle settings as well as built-in apps. So you go under your settings. You can change all your drive assist settings under this assistance mode right here for the lane keeping assist, blind spot, and so on. Vehicle settings are right here. As for the individual drive mode, you can change to configure how everything is. So I can put the drive between a reduced, moderate, sport, and a dynamic mode. And you can also change the dynamics between pro, advanced, and basic. Suspension settings right there between a comfort, sport, and sport plus, as well as the exhaust system right there. So basically in this individual mode, everything in this aggressive setting with the suspension tailored back to comfort mode for more like high speed stability. Driving settings right there, some more comfort settings. We do have lighting settings right there. So you do have the ambient lighting, which looks so cool, as well as the digital lighting patterns right there. So it'll give you like a little light pattern when you do interact with unlocking and locking the vehicles. But looking a little bit more at the ambient lighting right here, you can change the various different colors. So you can go to a monochrome right here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in the daytime, but let's try like a blue purple right there. Oh, you can really see it like right here on the dash. Pink, yellow, green. You can literally change between all these various different colors. Mercedes does the best lighting in the industry. You can literally just see how the whole lighting system just interacts. You can also put it into a multicolor mode, so you can have like a top section be one color and another section on the bottom. So right now it's like a burnt blue, so you have like the yellow up top and then the blue at the bottom right there in the little demonstration up top. Going back here, you do have system settings, navigation, info settings, and so on right there for various different updates. Your climate control is down below. This is a dual zone climate control setting right here. It's definitely hot in here, so we'll pump a little bit of AC in there from myself. But it is a dual zone climate control setup. You have a back button if you make a mistake, and your home button to basically get to your main page right there. Speaking more about the other settings inside of the screen, radio functions, media, your off-road page right here, so it'll show you like the breakover and departure angles. And if I go back under the home page, you can pull up your AMG performance page, so it'll show you like the G-forces you're pulling, as well as how much torque and horsepower you are using under this setting right here, as well as the IWC clock. Look at the graphics and animations of the screen, that's crazy. Boom, you can see that the IWC clock, as well as your consumption, and you do have a timer right there to time your lap. Hitting the AMG button right there, this will pull up your drive modes, as you can see, for all your various different drive modes, just like I talked about inside of the cluster area or on the steering wheel. This is your Sport Plus. You have your Sport mode, as well as the individual mode, slippery, and comfort mode right there. This right here is how you can activate the automatic Parktronic, as well as the 360 camera right here with all the various different views literally around the vehicle. So you can literally go all the way around 360 degrees. And you can also put it into your automatic mode right there when you want to have it in like drive when you're at low speed maneuverability. This right here is your vehicle settings button right here. So when you hit that button, it will pull up a couple of shortcut buttons right here, which you can set and preset for your head-up display, car wash mode, snow chains, electronic like parking and stuff, as well as the lane keeping assist, steer assist, and a couple other things. Now I do want to try the voice command function, so I'll say, "Hey Mercedes,
How may I help you?
change ambient lighting to red."
I'm sorry. Can you say that again, please?
Change ambient lighting to red.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you with that right now.
But we'll try that at a later date. But the Mercedes function definitely does work very good with helping you with the very interactive stuff. So let me try it one more time. Hey Mercedes. Hey Mercedes.
You have not subscribed to this service. To use it, you first have to activate the service in the Mercedes Me app.
I guess she just want to be a little sassy to me today, but nevertheless, going back to the review, you have your volume controls over here for turning on and off the screen, wireless charging pad right there with a USB-C port in the middle, and two cup holders are pretty good size. You can also charge up your key fob right there. Looking in the center console, you have two more USB-C ports, as well as a little bit of illumination in the storage area right there. Now, before I show you guys the panoramic system, I want to talk about one more thing about this cluster right here, with its 12.3 inch setting. Let me show you guys all of the various different like stuff you can get right here inside the middle screen. This is how I have it set up right here for your engine data, as well as your trip information, MPGs, eco displays, and so on. And you can also put up your media functions and have a navigation view right there, which is so cool. You just have this cockpit view right here in your line of sight. You have a auto dimming rearview mirror with your garage door openers and a panoramic sunroof up top. You also have your telematics stuff right here, as well as LED illumination. And you can see how much of an airy feeling this panoramic sunroof just really gives you. It's crazy. And it goes all the way back. But now, let's go ahead and take the GLC43 for a drive and see how it does in the real world with a 4-cylinder turbo. Now, first setting off, let's speak about visibility out the front, rear, and sides. I can see very good over the hood, as well as out the side mirrors and even out the back. Visibility is also aided with this clear curtain display, which I do have set to a super sport view with all of your driving importance, as well as your tach, speedo, and all driver assist information. Now, first setting off in comfort mode, the 9-speed multi-clutch transmission is very smooth shifting. And sitting at the last light, the auto start stop is so seamless thanks to the 48-volt mild hybrid system. It just really comes in clutch for sure. And this right here is what you have to deal with on a daily basis. The Prius of all cars. I do want to throw into sport mode off the back so I can show you guys a little bit more of the performance. And right off the bat. This is fun. But speaking of seat comfort, as this is a luxury car, seat comfort is great. I do have heated seats, as well as a heated steering wheel. And you do have the seat kinetics when you go into the infotainment right here under the comfort page right there with the lovely ambient lighting. So you can see right here under the seat kinetics, you can also put in like your height to get the whole seat adjusted to your specific frame and so on. And then the seat kinetics, so you don't get fatigued on a long drive, will basically move the seat. You can also heat balance right there for the seat, so it could be like an upper section or the lower section right there. All these features are very cool for sure. But also besides that, when you speak about the technology, this one does have the driver assist package for $1,950. So you get the full drive pilot and all of the driving tech that you want, which we will try once we hit a slightly higher area of speed. Now, auto start stop is defeated once you're in like sport and sport plus mode. And for the individual mode, which is configurable under the infotainment right here, which I will show you guys. There we go. Dynamic select. I have everything in this manual mode, sport plus for everything, and then the suspension is in comfort mode for a little bit more higher speed stability. Now you do also have the Hey Mercedes function. So, hey Mercedes, change ambient lighting to red. As you can see, the Hey Mercedes function does work very good. Let's try it one more time. Hey Mercedes. Hey Mercedes. Hold on, let's try. Hey Mercedes. Turn on heated seat. So as you can see, the Hey Mercedes function is very easy to use and interactive with you. It turned on the heated seats, changed my lighting to red, and it just really comes in clutch with certain stuff when like interacting with the screen. Now, speaking of ride quality, as we just chill in traffic, it is very good. You do have a 21-inch wide spoke design wheel with summer tires, and even still, the suspension is very smooth. Now, keep in mind, it isn't as smooth as the standard GLC300, but I mean, that's what you pay for the AMG to get a little bit more of that dynamic feel. And what you also notice too is how like bitey the brakes are, like upon initial like impressions. You can just feel like bite down. It's crazy. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, which replaces the lovely V6 bi-turbo in the last generation, which I have to say is definitely a hard feat to replace for sure. But what I noticed right off the bat after driving this is actually my second day in a row because I messed up the first review. So I had a little bit more seat time to think about the driving experience in this vehicle. But in the last C43 I did review, which is the 2023 with the 4-cylinder, you see right there, auto start stop is so seamless with the 40-volt mild hybrid system. Smidge of delay, but other than that, it is just fine. But what I noticed is that in the previous C43 that I drove, the 23, the power, it kind of like died off after 80 miles an hour, so it felt a little bit more sluggish. But what I noticed in this is that Mercedes made a little bit of tweaks, and it feels a little bit more alive at the higher speeds. Now, if you're a Mercedes AMG enthusiast, yeah, the 4-cylinder won't cut it. I think, personally, the 4-cylinder isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It has plenty of acceleration. It's definitely better than the last generation as far as acceleration goes. Shaving about 0.2 of the 0 to 60 from 4.7 to, yeah, it's down to 4.7. It was 4.9 in the last generation. Man, my brain's just racked with all these numbers, man. But, yeah. It's definitely very smooth though at slower speeds. I love these AMG driving units right here on the steering wheel. It really just gives you like that cockpit kind of feel. You can just feel that it just wants to go and accelerate at lower speeds. Now, I do want to try a quick acceleration. Mercedes says 4.7 seconds, so we're going to try that out. We'll just try it from the start. No brake boost. Let me go into its super sport view right there. No. All right, we'll leave the G-force meter up. Let's go. And yes, that acceleration, once it just takes off, is so good. Definitely felt like 4.7 seconds for sure. You can also interact with the 9-speed multi-clutch transmission by using the paddle shifters to interact with all 9 gears. Now, right now I have everything set up in its max like kind of experience mode. So you have the G-force meter, your RPMs right there. You can see your pound-foot of torque and horsepower. Now, this does have 369 pound-foot of torque. To be honest, it definitely feels like more of that, especially with the 40-volt mild hybrid system adding 23 horsepower and 148 pound-foot of torque in short increments. And of course, speaking of the technology aspect, you saw it took me forever to, interact with the screens to get the right mode set up for you guys. So I'm going to give you the full AMG experience. Now, in the back of my mind, speaking about AMG experience, I'm thinking with a slightly lenient European emissions standard happening right now, the next generation of the Audi SQ5 and the X3 BMW, which I don't know if it's going to be the M40 or the M50, is going to have 6 cylinders. So I feel like personally this is a missed opportunity for Mercedes to integrate a 6-cylinder back into the C and GLC lineup. I believe that in the 63 variant, it would definitely be a nice addition instead of the hybrid. And the transmission just wants to go. Let me go ahead and throw it back into its comfort setting, because this is a luxury car, and most of you guys, for about 99% of the time, will be driving in comfort mode, commuting to and from work, and maybe a smidge of Sport Plus mode if you really want to have a little bit of fun. I'll just leave it in the Super Sport mode because I think this looks great. As you can see, even driving in comfort mode, the mid-range torque is great. Now, I do want to throw on the Drive Pilot Drive Assist technology, which I will set. Now, I use the camera up top to follow the traffic in front of it. I can't change the following distances all the way up from 5 down to 1. But I'll leave it at 2 because I think 2 is the perfect middle ground of following distance. And I have my speed set right there. Now it does also have lane keep assist with steer assist in this driver's assist package for $1,950. You have the pre-safe sound, automatic emergency braking, and a couple other niceties as well. Damn, this thing moves. And I think the confidence around the corner, it just inspires a lot of that for sure. Now on the highway, the cabin is very hush, quiet, and refined as a luxury car should be. We're going about 75 miles an hour or so, and it's great for sure. And a little pop on that upshift. And the summer tires inspires a lot of confidence. Now from a driving enthusiast perspective, I was expecting the 4-cylinder to be kind of watered down, but it's great. Jeez. And the brakes give you a level of confidence as well. And the summer tires just pulls you around the corner. Yeah, this is fun. When you really like push it, everything, the whole just experience just shrinks around you at 187 inches long. You can just feel that ground clearance come into play in person. It's just like goes lower to the ground, just sucks you in. It's like ready. Man, this is fun. You can just go right back into its comfort mode and just chill. I love the amount of interaction you get with this whole screen right here. Everything just works with you, so you get the full AMG experience. You get all the screens, everything lights up. Still gonna come out. It's crazy, man. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is fun. I like this all the way. We gotta try one more acceleration when nobody's behind us. Little turbo lag. I love it. Woo! All right, let's go back into comfort mode because, you know, this thing just inspires you to drive like a maniac. Now, keep in mind, they have a 63 coming with 680 horsepower, so it's going to be even more acceleration, thrill, and fun. But going back into comfort mode, when you have the exhaust valve closed and drive it again as a luxury car, it's so smooth, quiet, refined, with just a slight hint of like aggression. You can like feel it just a bit at slower speeds. You see right there how smooth the 40-volt mild hybrid system is with the auto start stop. As you can see, boom, right there, foot down, smooth, smidgen delay to come back on, but other than that, it is great. Now overall, I want to speak about what I think about this car as we get into the conclusion of this video and are coming up to the last light. So overall, I have to say, I do like the exterior design. Mercedes knocked out of the park, especially with all of the blacked out accents that this version does have. You have all the blacked out grille surrounds, window surrounds, especially in this black paint and red interior, which of course by default red interior adds 5 horsepower. So yeah, so this thing's making, so instead of 416, it makes 421 horsepower with red interior. But I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, the 4-cylinder definitely isn't bad if you are a Mercedes enthusiast, But if you want like the full experience, I still think the straight 6 is a better solution. I mean, they could take a 53 AMG engine and detune it a bit and plop that into the 43s, and I think most buyers will be happy. Or even like the C63 and the GLC43. Even if you just do a straight 6 in that, I think a lot of people will be happy with that option for sure. But other than that though, speaking on technology wise, you do have the augmented navigation, which I will try out right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw in that augmented navigation. And I'm gonna change the screen over into this navigation view right there, so you guys can see the full navigation in action. As you can see, the augmented navigation coming up right here. So pull up the camera and it'll show you like turn-by-turn navigation. So if you're terrible with navigation, like a couple of people I know are, this will really just come in clutch right here. That paired with the screen in this navigation mode and everything else working in tandem is so great. So you can see the turn-by-turn navigation right here inside of the screen, give you the arrows. But the technology-wise, I like the seat kinetics. Now, in the warmer weather, I would highly recommend getting the cool seats. This red interior is sweet and all, but you gotta definitely keep that panoramic sunroof closed because you'll be baking like a cookie in here. But yeah, so that's all that we have to say though about this GLC43.